James 5 and 6. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Call Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekahak Radash, Shalom, and salutations and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, where I continue to learn this 100% truth. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders, the prophets and the teachers and evangelists of Great Millstone also, who I continue to learn this 100% truth from. And shalom to the speckled bird, the confused face, the Akim and Aqua, the Akim on the highways and byways, and last but not least, the elect. Back again with another video, praying that you be edified with it. And I'm going to entitle this, Don't Care for Your Holidays. We are ready to go. We're ready to get out of here, praying that this year 2026 coming, the year of apostates, agents, and what else did Elder Apostle Tahar deem it? Just false teachers, hoping that that's not exactly what he said, but that's something similar to what he said. But praying that this be the year that we get out of here. Even though we know it's going to be tough and things are going to get hard, we do understand that there's going to be Jacob's trouble, which we're in the midst of, and things are going to get hyphened up. But we do understand that if we are to be those first fruits, the blessings are unimaginable of what we will attain. This is Micah 2 and 10. And it reads, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So we are waiting and hasting to get out of here, but we know we have to endure until the Most High gets us out of here. So with that, let's get some more scripture. I know what I started off with, but I had something else I wanted to start with. Let me see something here. Well, first off, just a quick synopsis of what this holiday, which is what they call Christmas, is about. It's a wicked pagan holiday, and it's about worshiping false god, which you should not be doing, idolizing images, which you should not be doing, and passing gifts from one to another, supposedly, I guess, in good cheer or good faith. But that's not something that you should not be doing as well, especially if it's not in the name of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get some scriptures. And the first scripture I'm going to bring out from what I just said is Deuteronomy 7 and 25, and it reads, The graven images of the gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to Yahweh thy power. So we are not to take into grave images. We are not to be worshiping false deities. And this is something that has what you call Christmas all boiled into one. It's a lot of wickedness, and it may seem harmless to a lot of people. You know what I mean? You know, we should be grateful that Yahweh Shai allows this devil in this captivity that we're in, because this is not our rest. to have a day of rest because they working us, to spend time with family and such and so. And those are the things that you can look and be grateful for. You know what I mean? You know, being with the family and enjoying their time, and also your time too, and also putting in the time for Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who you should be thankful and grateful for, that allowed you to have this time. Ultimately, anything else you don't, I mean, you don't celebrate that. You don't, put that on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they have done with this day, with a lot of falsified information and understanding about it. Now, I was thinking about pulling up a video. It's the history of in Amsterdam on what they do and how they celebrate the Christmas. And it started, I believe it started with it was the Greeks or the Romans, with them, you know, passing gifts to one another and celebrating these pagan ways and doing things that we shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is Jeremiah 10:3, and it reads, "For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree." See, this is vain. Listen up, listen good. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold, then fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Is that pretty obvious on what this is about? It's done in vain. Luke 2:42. And when he was 12 years old, he went out to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. Who is that talking about? It's talking about Yahweh Shai. And what was Yahweh Shai celebrating? Um, is it Hanukkah? I believe it's Hanukkah. For what? 2 weeks, I think? A week or 2 weeks, something like that. But I believe that was a custom that we celebrated instead of the custom of these goddamn Xmas. You know what I'm saying? With Satan's claws all up in you, making you go off doing wicked things. You know what I mean? Let's see. This is Matthew 15:3, and it reads, "But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of the Most High by your tradition? That's because it feels good, and some of us don't know, and some of us do know and still decides to transgress, and you want to follow, and just kind of probably what's been in Samuel as well, in the book of Samuel. We want to, and even before Samuel. I mean, no, and even after Samuel, also in the Apocrypha, when the Greeks were in rulership, it talks about that as well. How we wanted to follow the traditions of men. We wanted to be like the heathens. You know what I'm saying? This is Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. This is what Adam, this is what happened with Adam, and this is what happened to Eve, and how she got Adam, because they were spoiled through philosophy and vain deceit. After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. So you may think that you're celebrating. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Yo, this devil is a fucking, man, excuse my language. This devil is a demon, man. He gave you Christianity, and he used uh, the son of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, whose real name is Yahweh Shai, called him JC, changed his name. This is how he's crucified. When it talks about in Revelation how Yahweh Shai was crucified. This is how he's crucified. By changing his name, changing his image, and everything about him, including giving him a excuse me, y'all, including giving him a birth date, which is celebrated um, uh, on the opposite time of when he was actually the time that he was born. Wrong time of the elements. Howard Shaw was born in a cold. You know what I'm saying? This devil gotta go, man. This devil gotta go, man. That's all I can say about him. He gotta go, man, because he's messed up everything. He's flipped things upside down to the point that it's normal. This wicked vibration on the earth, it's normal now. It's okay. This is Mark 7 and 9. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of the Most High, that ye may keep your own tradition. Salakia. Uh-oh. Yeah, man. This devil has flipped and switched everything around. And he has made it now to where if you go against it, you know what I'm saying? You're wicked. You're evil. So now that you've been compromised, you don't think that you've been compromised. You think that it's okay and it's the right thing to do. And what happens is, this is how the scriptures talk about, this is how Paul talks about Jew nor Greek. Because what happens is you fall to the traditions of men, and the old man dies and the new man is born, and the new man is born under the ways of the enemy, the heathen, the tradition of men. And then he raises his seed, his son, to become a man, and he follows the ways of this tradition of men. And then after that, he teaches his son, and now it's perfected to follow the ways of the tradition of men, these heathen. And then his son has, so, or say what, 4 generations? I just mentioned 4 generations. By the 4th, 5th generation, you are fully converted and compromised into this way of life of living how these heathen lives and thinking how these heathens think, eating how they eat, and celebrating the things that they celebrate and worshiping the gods that they worship. This is what they've done to us, man. This is Jeremiah 2 and 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways? No, they taught us their ways. This will happen also to Solomon, King Solomon. King Solomon, as he got older, he became more docile to his concubines, and he started to follow after their ways. Because one of the things that was happening is that and you got to understand too. Here's the the spirit is on me just to mention it, and I could be wrong, but these heathen nations knew what they was doing. You know, they was happy to give their virgin daughters to King Solomon, these heathens, right? And the chance of hoping that these heathen women, because they still understood about their tradition, they understood their father's ways. So the father would give their daughters as concubines, hoping, and they're young, hoping and praying to whoever they pray to, whatever demon they pray to, that it would change the ways and soften up King Solomon's ways about how he feels about them. Because now he's learning how to, he's older. So when you get older, you know, I'm kind of in the mid there, so I can speak. You start to cater into things that, you know what I mean, if you're not strong enough and the spirit is not on you strong enough, to other ways, including the heathens ways. So this is why he started building things and doing things for these heathen nations that he did for his concubines, as far as building altars for their false gods and such and so. It's because he was still getting them young. You know what I'm saying? And they were in his ear about, you know, if you love me, you know, you love me, or you know what I mean? Build me an altar for my gods and my family. You know what I'm saying? He's the king. He could do what he want to do. So he lost his way in that way and started to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they kept sending. That's why he had so many women, because they was trying to turn him over into falsifying. I mean to worshiping fake gods, false gods. And this is what made Yahweh Shem Yahushua mad with him. You know what I mean? As he got older, now when he was younger, he understood and he was more firm about how he carried himself. Is as he got older and his women wasn't the women he had already had, they got older, but he was still getting younger women. You know what I'm saying? And they were convincing him to, you get them young girls, you know what I'm saying? And you're an older man, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure these were the baddest concubines that was to offer. So they would be in his ear, kind of like Delilah, about do this for me and do that for me. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, that's just the behavior of a woman. You know what I'm saying? Brothers want to be kings and priests, and you don't understand the type of things that you have to endure and deal with just to maintain those types of positions. You know what I'm saying? That's why we give reverence to our elder apostles for the sacrifices that they have made to continue to keep this 100% truth 100%. Instead of selling out or switching up like you cats do today. You cats ain't nothing but you false witnesses who play the game as if what I'm saying, like you love your people and you spreading the word, but you're not doing it in righteousness. You're not doing it in truth and sincere and being sincere about it. And that's the truth, man. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to deal with you because of that. Again, too, you know what I'm saying? So, this is why we don't get involved in all of that nonsense. We don't celebrate, all these pagan holidays like that. Now, we understand that we are in the world, you know what I mean? So, we got to do what we got to do, but you still ought to hold your integrity. And like Yahweh Shai said, what belongs to the world, give to the world. Roughly paraphrasing, because he meant Caesar. What's in the world, give to the world, and what belongs to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, give to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Sirach 37:25. The days of the life of men may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable. Okay? I'm not going to give you the lookup. You can look that up. Look up the word innumerable and you get an understanding of it. Job 1:4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one this day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. So this is a celebration of is vainglory of celebrating yourself when you're not supposed to be celebrating yourself. It's all about Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. We're here to praise and raise his name up. That's it. Let's see. Psalms 115:1. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory, for thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. It's the spirit that allows me to understand and teach these scriptures. And that call all Yahweh Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rakakwadash. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm not leaving. I'm just saying, just representing and giving glory to Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Because without them and this Holy Spirit, I will be able to do nothing, and I am nothing. So, you praise the names. That's what you're here to do. Praise the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Revelation 11:10, and it reads, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry. This is what they, you know what I'm saying? But you realize now that it's not like that. People are not marrying no more. You know what I'm saying? The scripts are coming out, and the elder apostles on down are speaking the truth. And the vibration, even though it's a wicked vibration on the earth, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is allowing his men to get this word across the four corners of the earth via World Wide Web, the internet, you know what I mean? And it's only for the elect. So, yes, the majority of the world is going to be like, nah, I want to continue to do what I like to do. But it's only going to be for the elect is going to be like, yeah, you're right. This is right. This is what I need to be doing. Revelation 11 and 10 again from the top. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts unto one another. Because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And this is what the men of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai has been doing. So you can't fight it. You can't get away from it. There's nothing you could do against the truth but for the truth, roughly paraphrasing. So you got to give all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, because no matter what it may look like, he and his men will have the victory. His name will be praised on the earth again, and his son's name as well. High praises. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 16. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grows strong, was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings, whom men cannot honor in presence, because they dwelt far off. They took the counterfeit of his visage from far, and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this their forwardness they might flatter him that was absent, as if he were present. Fake gods that can't speak nothing. This is what they was putting their trust and worship into, knowing that this is abominable to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But our people, as the scriptures say, are stupid, man. Stupid and ignorant. This is why the Lord is going to get ready to pass a heavy judgment on a lot of our people. And they're going to see, and they're going to be begging, oh no, Lord, oh no. He's not going to hear that. He's not going to hear that, because you didn't choose to hear him. So he's not going to hear you. 1 Peter 4 and 3. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walk in lasciviousness, lust excessive of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? Okay, so Lakia, I'm trying to I'm about to pull up the I want to pull up the NLT or the NIV. I'm gonna pull up the NIV. Sometimes I go to the NIV as well. What's that? 1 Peter. Yeah. 1 Peter 3 in the NIV. 1 Peter 4 and 3 in the NIV. For you have spent enough time in the past doing what pagans choose to do, living in debauchery, lust, drunkenness, orgies, carousing, and detestable idolatry. Beautiful. They are surprised that you do not join them in their reckless, wild living, and they heap abuse on you. But they will have to give account to him who is ready to judge the living and the dead. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is coming real soon to do such things. Let's get a let's see. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. Matter of fact, we're going to get it in the NIV. And it reads, whatever is has already been, and what will be has been before, and the Most High will call the past to account. So judgment is what the Most High is going to bring to this earth, man. That's what's coming, judgment. This is Genesis 10 and 10 in the NIV, and it reads, the first centers of his kingdom were Babylon, Urk, Akkad, and Kanai, and Shinar. For that land he went to Assyria, where he built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Ilkah, Salakia, that's not I'm just these are the beginnings of what was developed to be called Christmas. These beginning kingdoms, Babylon, to my understanding, is where it started. But naturally it wasn't called Christmas. It was matter of fact, do I want to do that? You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stick with the program. Stick with the program. 2 Kings 17:24. And it reads, and the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Servarium, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them. And this is what he's about to do again. He's not going to necessarily send lions, but he's going to send missiles. He's going to send pestilence. He's going to send whirlwinds. He's going to send Yahweh Shai and angels. He's going to send fire. You know what I'm saying? Judgment is going to take place here. Did I read this one already? All right, hold on. That's what's about to happen. All because of the types of things that we indulge in with these heathen nations, and also for the controversy, roughly paraphrasing, of us. To save us, the Lord's going to have to do great wonders, great miracles to get us out of here. But the scriptures tell us how Yahweh shall know how to save his own. Revelation 18 and 10. Standing afar off from the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour in thy judgment come. So it's only going to take an hour for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to send Yahweh Shai to destroy this place, man. And we getting up out of here, man. We jump back to Revelation 17 and 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of earth. And we're about to get ready to get out of here, man. Because that's exactly why Babylon is the main place that Yahweh Shai has his eyes on. Because it is the mystery, it is the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. Not the abominations of the land, but the earth. The entire earth. I got a couple more scriptures and I'm going to shut it down. What I want. Let's go there. Second Maccabees 6 and 7, and it reads, neither is it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew, And in the day of the king's birth, and this is what we follow now. We follow birthdays and everything, thinking we can do what we want to do because it's our birthday or it's Christmas Day or whatever it may be. We always find an excuse to find time to do wickedness. But then when it comes time to celebrate or to acknowledge or to bring glory to the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, you the real names, you don't do that. And you use these other names like God and JC, and you praise those names, knowing, or you should know, that those are not real names. And even if you are taught a true understanding of those names, you still go against it. And in that day, the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivory. So we were forced to live that lifestyle of how they live. We were forced to be like the heathens. So it got to the point where they didn't have to force us anymore. It was easy to go along with it, just like Islam. Let me get out of here, man. One more scripture for you. I was just looking for it. Let me see. Yes, right there. Isaiah 40 and 19 in the NLT. And it reads, "As for an idol, and metal worker casts it, and a goldsmith overlays it with gold, and fashions silver chains for it. A person too poor to present such an offering selects wood that would not rot. They look for a skilled worker to set up an idol that will not topple. Do you not know? Have you not heard? Has it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not understood since the earth was founded? He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and its people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out his heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in. He brings princes to naught and reduces the rulers of this world to nothing. No sooner are they planted, no sooner are they sown, no sooner do they take root in the ground. Then he blows on them, and they wither, and a whirlwind sweeps them away like chaff. And this is a destruction that's going to happen to you apostates, you naysayers, you murmurers, you false brethren, you agents. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai sees it all. You pagan holiday celebrators who truly loves it and wants to be and carry yourself like the heathen. Even if you heard this truth, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to deal with you all. Abarak Desire, you were edified. With that, I'm going to say, Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekahak Radash, Shalom and salutations and double honors again to the elder apostles of GMS on down, and Shalom to the elect. Shalom.